The choice is yours. We are a legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. You should have expect us.
And since almost everyone has a cell phone, hackers are, of course, trying to exploit them, and you could be a sitting duck.
We're learning more this afternoon about the computer fraud at Don Lugo High School in Chino.
That's where officials say a 17-year-old suspect changed his grade.
Sony, it's warned PlayStation users about hackers. It says that people's sensitive personal details may have been stolen after Sony admitted that hackers had breached a system which is used by some 3 million Britons. Sony.
Tonight, authorities are going after Anonymous.
Hacking, one of the most prominent causes for identity theft, credit card fraud, and stolen data. Did you know that by clicking just a single link you can infect every computer in your house? In our programme, we'll cover the risks of hacking and how to protect yourself. Last year, the Facebook account of Selena Gomez was compromised by a hacker, who then went on to post abusive messages to her then boyfriend at the time, Justin Bieber, as well as spamming her wall. The hacker, nicknamed ProKills, was sentenced to 12 months in jail and was released in January of this year, signing a non-disclosure agreement with Facebook. We tried to contact ProKills to ask him a few questions. Unfortunately, he was not able to for legal reasons. We, however, interviewed a hacker who goes by the name SGPC.
So the reason most people try and hack is usually just to prove a point. It's either that or they're doing it for money, revenge, or they're going after a specific target. On the monetary terms, there is something called a botnet, and a botnet is just a collection of different computers that have been infected, all assigned to this big robot network, so botnet. The other one, which is usually revenge, which is more often than not the main cause of it, and it's when either you've been hacked yourself, so say for a game which is really popular with teenagers, they try and hack someone else in revenge to get their own things back or to get even more, and then usually from doing this they start to get more of a craving for that sense of power that you have over other people, and that's what leads to more hackers, and then it's just kind of ever growing. So the process of creating a virus starts with choosing what type of virus you're going to make. So the two main ones people go for is either a keylogger, which is pretty much any information that you type, any keystrokes, they all get sent to a hacker's email address. So this will be logins for websites, applets, anything that you use on your computer. This includes banking information as well. The other type is a RAT, or remote administration tool. And what this does is give the hacker direct access to your machine and gives them more control than you do. So they could open up your webcam, they could disable your inputs, keyboards and mouse, they can open up web pages, download more files, anything they wanted to. Next stage is to target someone. So if you're not targeting anyone, you'll just post a link on YouTube or something to link it to that virus, saying it's a fake program. One of the usual ones that you see is generators from Microsoft points and things like that. Then the actual infecting process is either them clicking and opening the link, or through something called a Java drive-by. Now what a Java drive-by is when you load up a web page that has Java installed, you'll be asked to run Java on that website. Now what usually happens is when you allow this to run, you're accepting and executing the files that that jar files hosts. So if you take some of the common websites, it will let you play the game usually. What you can do is you can change what files are being downloaded and executed through certain methods, and this will basically give you access to their machine without them even knowingly downloading anything, because you can run both of the attacks parallel to each other. So to them it'll look like that you've installed it and everything's going great, but you also have access to their machine.
To see if business in Blackpool were aware of the risks of hacking, we interviewed one of the Virgin Media employees in Hounds Hill.
Are you aware of the risk of having an open Wi-Fi network?
Yes.
Right. What sort of procedures should you know that can be done if the network is open Wi-Fi?
What was in security protection?
Yeah.
Well, we give our customers passwords on it, so when they sign up to it, we give them security information, and that's, you know, personal to them, so nobody else can input that. Yeah, and that's.
Are you aware of what brute forcing is?
Not completely. Is that when someone's trying to hack a password just by constant attempts at breaking it, or
they have a list of randomly generated passwords and they keep trying it.
Yeah, until they get each digit right. Yeah.
What measures do you have against hacking for this specific store?
Just standard security on the Wi-Fi password. We don't have anything. I think we've got antivirus and firewalls on the PCs, but that's about it.
Do you know what kinds of antivirus software you use?
I wouldn't know what specific programs we use, no, because it's all done by the IT department.
Do you know what type of password you use between web and WPA?
I think it's web. I think it is.
Right.
I think it is. I
couldn't. Where that web could be cracked within 20 minutes or so.
I wasn't personally, but again, this isn't stuff that we personally do. This is all done by the company's IT department. So.
Are you aware of what Trojan is?
Yes.
What would you say your definition of a Trojan would be?
Well, it's a virus that's disguised initially as something else, isn't it? And then they have to activate it, and it gets in that way, doesn't it?
So it's obvious that they understand hacking, but our next interview, it shows some of the more dangerous sides of hacking.
Can you give a brief overview of what happened to you?
Yeah, so basically a couple of years back, I was using Facebook quite a lot, and various other social networking sites, and often what happens is when you are downloading, when you download programs without first checking them on security systems like Norton, you can find that they hold viruses in them. So I was downloading game emulators for computers a couple of years back, and along with a Game Boy emulator, I believe, came it was a virus, a keylogger. So basically what happened was everything I inputted into the computer was being fed back to someone overseas who created the emulator and the hack. So all of my login information was being sent to this guy, all of my bank details were being sent to him, and some quite dangerously personal information was being sent to someone overseas. Luckily, I found out quite soon, so there weren't that many severe consequences. However, had I not realised so quickly that that was the case, I could have ended up with, you know, money being stolen from my account if I actually had any. Hashtag student life. And this isn't the first time stuff like this happened. A lot of the time we were falling prey to, me and my brother were falling prey to hacking quite severely, to the point where one of the hackers in old school Millfield, who should remain nameless for his protection, there came a point where he created a browser on, he created his own browser, like Firefox and Safari. He created his own, and he offered it to me and Connor to download it because it ran faster than Google Chrome and Mozilla Firefox, which it did, but it also put onto Connor's computer about 1 million viruses, and basically melted his entire computer. So that's more of the dangerous side of hacking. Often what gets mistaken for hacking is people logging onto people's Facebook when that just simply isn't the case, because that's someone who's left their Facebook open, and that bugs me. That it is much more severe than stuff like that. And I've experienced firsthand how how hackers go about how hackers go about acquiring details, people's login details, because I used to hang around with said hacker, and he created he used this process called phishing, which is where he created his own Facebook homepage with a different, where it says .com, instead it would say something like .cc or .ie or something of that nature, and it would be a fake Facebook page, homepage. So people would log in, and instead of logging in, it would just do nothing. But the account information would be sent to an email address. And what we were able to do was go into people's Facebook and talk to people. There was some, look, reflecting on it, it was quite a horrible thing to do, but because there was some quite severe stuff that we said, and there were a lot of legal implications that we probably should have considered before we did it. I mean, that didn't stop us, so make of that what you will.
One more. What advice do you have to help prevent other people from getting infected?
Always be careful when downloading programs. To make always put links through Norton and make sure that all sites are safe. Often, what will happen when you download, you get antivirus software, because what happens is they'll have a automated system which, when you're on Google, it'll come up with you've searched, and your search options appear, all of your results, and next to them, or if you hover over them, they give you a quick briefing of the site saying, yep, safe, no, don't go there. And that is probably the safest thing I could suggest to people. And use protection.
So there you have it. Hacking and how not to fall victim to it. Good luck. You'll need it.